Verxel is real.
I can't believe this. All right. Well, it looks like we're just going to hop right into this. Looks like both runners are ready. So the countdown is getting started. So, Stellar, what are your thoughts on this match going into it?
There's a pretty clear favorite in terms of who's going to win, but I mean, Zethor apparently was able to keep his composure for the entire previous race and still had the mental capacity to say, actually, maybe I won't do it this time. So maybe he's going to use this to power himself forward. Maybe he's just going to get absolutely rolled. I'm very interested to see where this is going to go.
Yeah, all right. So starting off, let's see if either of these runners get City Escape skip. It has been very elusive throughout these pools. There's been some people that have been pretty consistent at it. Names come to mind as Melters, and I believe JRK got it a few times. Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting to see if either of these runners get CE skip, or if Zethor escapes the freezer, because it seems like he is frozen.
Unfortunately, the hardest part about boarding section is not getting your computer stuck in the death dimension while you're in the middle of playing it. So we'll see if this ends up happening. Oh, a little bit of movement. We'll see if it continues. Speedrun moves down the hill, and Zethor moves off of this earth, shuffling off of this mortal coil.
Wager's going for second try. Really interesting decision. Most people only go for one try. I do respect the second attempt, though. Zethor seems like he has exploded or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Zethor referencing Bloog's washing machine and exploding right on stream. Asking if there's a little bit of complication in chat about whether or not we're restarting this race. We're just taking a moment to check chat to make sure that we're not actually restarting. Looks like he is aware that we are not, and he goes through the rest of his stage. So.
Yeah, alright. So while we're waiting for Zethor's stream to get back up, I guess we're just going to be commentating over Wagers' run. We're just going to have to guess where Zethor is. I would say, oh, never mind. It looks like we're not having to guess where Zethor is. He is back.
These runners are neck and neck. That's actually unbelievable.
I can't believe that's actually really funny.
Wagers waited for just long enough for Zethor to basically fully catch up.
And Zethor is now in the lead because Wagers is standing there for no reason at all.
Apparently, we are getting confirmation that we are restarting, considering Wagers spent roughly 30 seconds standing still and reading chat. He is now taunting the checkpoint of truck section. We are restarting, jumps into the Ethmar pit on purpose for the culture. And we are fully restarting.
Yeah, alright. Seems like we're going to get a retry. Definitely going to be a welcome restart from Zethor there with a 235 City Escape, which is not ideal. I believe he got a 205 last time, which is significantly better. So hopefully he can get something good in the next race. AF Wagers picking the Knuckles theme for his run. Last time he picked the Sonic theme.
This theme choice could be what he needs to make sure Zethor's internet stays up for City Escape.
It's true. Knuckles is proven to be a gamer, so I don't know. Knuckles might have pretty good internet.
He's got to have good internet, right? He's stuck on that island all the time. Surely he'd go so crazy if he didn't have something to do besides sit on a giant emerald all the time.
It's true. Yeah. You gotta respect the Knuckles' hustle there, though, because he's just chilling. I don't know.
He's just chilling. That's all he can do.
He's just chilling.
He doesn't chuckle, but he does chill.
It's true.
The countdown has happened, so these runners should be going as soon as they can.
And there goes Wagers, and there goes Zethor. They are slightly desynced, and it looks like they've been synced up now. So the RTA difference is the same at the start of the run. It's always nice to see that.
Yeah, the synced boarding section, much like Synced Route 101, is much more interesting to see. Okay, I got nervous for a second. I thought Zethor was dead again.
In the same spot, no less, Zethor has re-entered the freezer.
Yeah. From here on out, if you ever get stuck at 11 seconds into City Escape, that's freezer territory. I'd be careful around that.
Yeah, maybe keep some heat packets on you, maybe a coat.
Oh yeah, those like hot paws, like hand warmer things you put in your mitts.
Yeah, those are so nice. All right, it looks like there's no CE skip for Wagers. He's not going for second try this time, which is different from the last. Zethor taking a long time to set up CE skip, not even getting it. Okay.
Yeah, going for a very lengthy pause buffer attempt that is very punishing under V1 and unfortunately doesn't get any of the benefit of it. So it is what it is, and it isn't a City Escape. So
it is true. Hopefully, though, for him, he does make his way and get a better City Escape than the last attempt. I have no doubt he will, because, you know.
Yeah, it's
pretty easy to beat a 235.
Yeah, especially if you're an established runner of the game like Zethor is, who has some very notable movement fundamentals, at least in hunting characters. So, I mean, hunting and speed aren't so different in and of themselves.
Yeah, Zethor is definitely one of those people.
Afwagers falls out of bounds and gets hit 3 times by nothing!
Oh my god!
I don't know. Wait, there's a kill plane down there, but he didn't hit it. He resets. He goes all the way over. Zethor has an almost 2-minute lead.
I have never seen that before. Oh my god, that is insane. What are the odds?
There was a kill plane. Wagers makes the independent decision to restart instead of playing, making this race significantly more interesting. This is a huge boost to Zethor's chances of winning as he gets a 220 City Escape.
This is how Zethor can still win this.
This is how Zethor can still win this. And also, to be fair, I have no blame at all for Wagers not knowing that there was a kill plane down there. This game is notorious for just not having kill planes out of bounds sometimes. Aquatic Mind, I'm looking at you. But he is able to get CE skip on the run back.
I can't believe it was calculated. It had to.
We are all players in Afwagers show. That's what I'm learning right now. This
is the race of all time.
It really is.
See, I knew Zethor versus Wagers was gonna be hype. Not something to miss.
People sleep on matches like these, but this is the magic of the tournament.
It is true. Like, anything can happen in these races, and that has been fully proven just now.
The CE skip matching up with Zethor's less than optimal City Escape has erased a lot of that 2-minute deficit. We are already within 30 seconds of each other.
That is true. Zethor still not being very familiar with things like the bosses and the 10-24 sets and all that jazz. So he might have some issues still, but he does have that lead that he gets. So he is big chillin' at the moment.
And I did actually forget that Bigfoot exists. So it was closer to a 45-second lead, but I mean, unless Afwagers gets a pretty difficult Wild Canyon set, it looks like he should be making up time on all 3 of the stages.
Definitely struggled on that last piece there for Zethor. It was really unfortunate. Wagers has been practicing his knuckle stages too, so I have no doubt that he's gonna get, at the very least, a sub-3rd Wild Canyon, unless he gets he gets screwed over by RNG.
He does get Bird Box in the shade. He checks both of the. Oh, he gets World Pyramid. Excuse me. I misread the radar, but
those piece checks not working out for him, unfortunately.
Zethor, who had gotten a 40 Wild Canyon, is probably very happy to see Wagers getting so thoroughly owned by the by the wind, as Wagers is only able to save 3 of those seconds on Zethor.
That's true. That's very... I would say this is actually better for Zethor. Even though he is losing time still to Wagers' Wild Canyon, that is still a minimal amount of time loss. And since Zethor does not really practice hunting at all, it's a win.
Yeah, a win's a win, basically. Like, he may have lost 3 seconds, but any moment where you can be within 5 to 10 seconds on like hunting stages, like that's basically a win compared to somebody with a time that far above you on the leaderboards.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, Wagers almost has like a 24, right? And then Zethor has like a 32. So it's definitely not in Zethor's favor to win this, but that still doesn't mean that doesn't mean it's impossible. As we can see right now, Zethor is still pretty solidly in the lead.
Yeah, he's cruising. He's been going pretty fast through this prison lane, opting not to shoot those boxes, but jumping over them as if it's his regular strategy. So he probably doesn't lose that much time to that.
Yeah, and keep in mind, he is a very, very active ILer, so he does know a lot of these IL strats, and he's very comfortable with the movement, despite his PB being so low, or so high, rather.
Yeah, I talked to Katie recently about prison lane and stuff that you can use to go faster, and that middle section from Zethor looked basically identical to all of the tips that Katie gave me. So, and he got a 125 final check, so despite the fact that he's so far down the leaderboard, a 141 prison lane, like, I can't complain about that, especially not at his skill level.
Oh yeah, I would take a 141 in my runs personally, and that's like I have a 26, and I would take that.
Yeah, really. Like, prison lane is really one of these stages that, you know, it shows the true skill of a player. Like, the Tails fundamentals are very notable in a stage like that, and so seeing a runner with that kind of leaderboard spot getting that kind of Tails prison lane time, you know, really shows the potential.
Yeah, I would argue that if Zethor really applied himself to single segment runs, he would get very good. Though I do understand, just personally, like, not caring for them and sticking to ILs. It is very understandable.
Absolutely. You gotta, at the end of the day, it comes down to whichever one you prefer, and Zethor pretty obviously prefers ILs, but it's still really cool that he decided to join the Hero Story tournament. No!
Ooh.
Oh,
It's a pretty unfortunate death. I think he only lost a few seconds there, so it's not too bad. Definitely it could have been way, way, way worse.
yeah, luckily that was only about a 4-second death, and Wagers saved 2 seconds over Zethor on the prison lane. They actually got the same final checkpoint time, so Wagers really showing the difference in that final section that, you know, you can understand, but the best way to be fast at it is to just do it as many times as you can. And so early in the run, as an established hero runner, Wagers will just have more experience in that section than Zethor.
Zethor not taking the checkpoint, which is actually pretty risky for him, but he does get the rocket. He did miss the rocket in his run from against Papa Bear, so glad to see him actually hit it this time and not lose like 50 seconds.
And that was a very interesting strategy to note, very popular among casuals, is that is basically the fastest way to get up there without doing a speed gravity spin dash jump. So, I mean, all of that to say, like, a 137 Metal Harbor, not a time to sneeze at all. I mean, he did have that 4-second death, but any time that he can get that's, like, not too far behind Wagers' time is going to be very important for nursing this lead. But it is narrowing because it looks like Wagers is going to get a low to mid 120.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be about, I would say, around a 40-second time difference here, a little bit less. I mean, it's still, I would say Zethor's still pretty comfortable at the moment, but he definitely needs to start, you know, really picking up the pace if he wants to keep this lead.
And Green Forest is certainly one of the stages where keeping your pace is one of the most important parts of it, because there are a lot of things that can go wrong, and there are a lot of little ways to lose time. So someone like AFW would be able to save a good amount of time on Zethor if he's not careful. But if he goes for stuff like wall run, mini run, and air Yeezy, there are a lot of opportunities for him to die as well.
It's true, but also if he does manage to land these things like air Yeezy and tree run and like whatever, he could save a lot of time over Wagers, because I'm not even sure if Wagers goes for wall run.
It's true. There's a lot of strat customizability, and even if he does go for wall run, you know, it could be a thing where you just decide that you don't want to go for a skip because you know that you're ahead and you don't want to ruin your lead, because there are some runners that watch the races.
That is true, and you could also just want to play it safe. I mean, like if you're not, especially if you're not feeling confident in it, because then there's a good chance that it's going to get to your head, and then you're just going to fail at it anyways, because you're going to be overthinking everything, and it's never a fun time when that happens. Looks like Zethor is going to be making his way towards those areas now, though.
Yeah, goes for the rail, does not go for air Yeezy. That's perfectly fine. Does get the storage onto that rail, so he has a fully charged spin dash immediately. Wagers is now starting the same stage. Not nearly as much time separates them, but it is still over half a minute.
Zethor deciding not to skip that loop, which is very interesting. You can still jump over there and not like take the full loop, and you'd still save time. So I'm not sure if he knows about that though, because from what I can tell by the way he talks about this stage, he does not like Green Forest very much.
Yeah, Green Forest is a little bit of an unpopular stage among many runners, with A Sinister Taco's Steam review of this game only saying the words "me hat Green Forest." So that really goes to show the depth of hatred that some runners have towards the stage.
Yeah, Green Forest being a very infamous stage. It kills a lot of runs. Even if you're not going for some of the harder strats like wall run and stuff, there's still a lot of places where this can go wrong. Like coming up here, there's a loop skip right here where if you don't have enough speed, you are probably going to die on this section, and it's never nice.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of never nice, that light dash at the end is notoriously rude and refuses to work.
Oh yeah.
Zethor only got the second half of it, but a 145, you know, he has his checkpoint was 3 seconds slower than the one that Wagers just got, but it looks like Wagers is taking a much faster ending section and gets the full light dash. So 145 from Zethor, and it looks like a 138 from Wagers. So
yes.
Some of that time continues to melt, but he's still ahead by 22.
Yeah, Zethor, it's depending on how Pumpkin Hill goes for these two runners, Zethor could strengthen this lead that he has, or potentially he could lose the lead right here. All depends on how things go.
Pathlined with rings, it does look like he knows where this is and is going for the wind boost up to it. Goes all the way up and grabs the piece, but it's a bit of a small hitbox, so it takes him a sec. 50-50 piece 2, but if you have the knowledge, you know that this can only be the one far away from Pumpkin.
And it looks like he does have that knowledge.
Let's go, Zethor, showing some hunting knowledge. I respect it.
He did actually. He has actually grinded for a pretty good Pumpkin Hill X20, so I do know that he's fairly decent at this stage. I believe he has a 19 RTA in that category.
Wow, if that's true, that's a relatively solid time. It's probably better than something that I could get, so that's a respectable amount of grinding.
It's better than my PB. I know that.
It's unfortunate that he got King of the Hill to force him to get a 52 anyway.
Yeah, very unfortunate. Looks like Wagers is 40 seconds in and only grabbing his second piece though, so I think Zethor's still gonna save time over Wagers here, which is actually really huge for Zethor because especially in the Sonic and Tails movements where he's not kind of relying on RNG here, there could be a lot that could go wrong.
That's true. And he is able to save, I believe that's like 6 seconds over Wagers in Pumpkin Hill. Any time save is good time save, I definitely say.
Mm-hmm. I have seen Zethor get Zero Cycle. I know he can do it. He is actually pretty good at Mission Street. So hoping for his sake that he can get something good out of this Mission Street.
It looked like he did some IGT in it, but not too much. He was aware that he had a 23 upgrade, which, you know, doesn't mean that you have as much time to play with as a 22 or even a 21, but takes a very acceptable amount. This cycle is the determining factor for whether or not you were too greedy waiting on the upgrade. Doesn't look like he was.
Yeah, looks like he got a pretty solid checkpoint there, and I think as of right now, he is on pace to get Zero Cycle. It looks like Wagers got Weight Hop, so he is also on pace at the moment.
Wagers waited a little bit longer than Zethor did with a similar upgrade time, and he's not able to get onto the cylinders.
Oh, unfortunate from Wagers. That's gonna hurt a lot.
Oh yeah, especially if Zethor is able to get the Zero Cycle here, because and he falls down and he has to take Walk of Shame.
He almost did it.
Oh, that would have been huge, but it's not necessarily a solved case for AF Wagers. AF Wagers has to go over to the platform and get, I believe, 1 cycle is what he's shooting for, as Zethor, it looks like, is going to have to take 2 cycle because half cycle is already gone. And he is at least able to be aware of this fact. Wagers gets the box snipe, pops on the weight, and misses first cycle, so he's gonna, and he misses the half cycle, so he's getting second cycle as well.
Wow, okay, so this time difference is actually going to be very minimal in comparison to each other, so I think the lead barely moves.
Wait, no, I misread it. AF Wagers only getting first cycle. That's weird that you can still catch first cycle from that far away. Still.
Oh yeah,
his timer is keeping me correct.
yeah. Okay, so I tend to forget this. I tend to always like tunnel vision on where would you call them? Cylinders?
Yeah,
I always like tunnel vision where the cylinders are, so it always to me looks like, oh, did this guy get Zero Cycle? And if it looks like it, I'm gonna pop off over it, even if he got like 1 cycle or something.
Yeah, that's definitely fair enough. Mission Street's the stage I've always struggled with, so the cycle times are very burned into my head.
That was a little tough.
Yeah, going into Aquatic Mine, this is another stage that can really shuffle the outcomes a little bit. 13 seconds currently separates them, so as long as Zethor is able to execute within 13 seconds of Wagers, this could still turn out. Taking water level 2 height piece 1 without any free pieces.
Oh, he did get a free piece!
Does he see it? He sees it!
Oh, that is huge!
And I think he was able to glide into the camera trigger to get the correct camera for the clip out of water level 2 height. Let's see if he gets the hint or goes for rub clip. Gets the hint. Is he gonna clip out? Doesn't trust it. You know what? It was a bit sketchy on if he had actually entered the camera trigger, and he does go for a clip out up top to clip into the narrow path. I'm not sure I've seen this before.
I think that's faster.
That's a very interesting thing that we just saw. Unfortunately, he's digging a little bit too far under the triangle skull. He finishes with a 46, but AF Wagers gets hit by the weight. The weight is doing everything it can to save Zethor's lead. He isn't able to get it. Wagers is so close to dying. Oh, and he does get it. Wagers only saving 1 second over Zethor due to those weight complications. Underneath a weight can be in 2 different spots. So if you're not very certain and very confident with where you're digging, it can be a very troublesome piece, as we have seen.
Yeah, especially if you know that, especially if you don't know where the other, where both pieces are, and you're just kind of blindly digging wherever, it can definitely be rough for you.
Zethor has gotten a couple 220 Route 101s this tournament, so if he wants to continue to protect this lead, he might need to get a little bit of ring routing improvement, or just hope that Wagers is off of his game, which I don't actually think that he has been, to be honest. A lot of the reasons that he's been losing time are either slightly luck reliant, or just like little mistakes that turn into big time loss. I didn't see what happened in Pumpkin Hill, but aside from the city escape mishap, he has been consistently clawing this lead back. So
Yeah.
we're gonna
Definitely.
see how Desert goes.
Definitely just been a lot of misfortune from Wagers here, but Zethor also, both of them have a pretty similar misfortune, other than the whole city escape shenanigans that happened for Wagers. Though, luckily for Wagers, he did get city escape skip the second time around, so he lost minimal time to that. All right, so going into Desert, I believe both of these runners have very strong desert capabilities, other than Death Chamber, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But yeah, I feel like they're going to be pretty evenly matched in Hidden Base and Pyramid Cave especially, because those two stages are probably one of the more like technical stages for both of those characters. It's going to be really interesting to see.
Yeah, that's the thing about Desert, is that due to the lack of entirely stage skipping skips, they're just difficult execution tests. So it really does it really is a test your metal kind of section to see if you're able to keep up.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like Zethor is going to finish with a 219. I believe Wagers is on pace to beat that. So unfortunately for Zethor, he is going to be losing a bit of time there, but it's not going to be too much because the time differences in Route 101 are very small.
Yeah, it's not a huge make or break stage. Route 101 is looking a lot like, Bigfoot and Rouge and other low variance stages, where the real important difference is just if you made major mistakes.
Yeah, and usually if you have your brain turned on, you won't make any major mistakes. That doesn't mean it can't happen though, especially with things like melon skip or clipping to the ground or being bad. I don't know.
Zethor gets
Zethor gets pull hop. That is huge.
He's going. Zethor has decided that he is holding on to this lead for every.
Oh, Wagers gets pull hop too.
Both of them have it. Oh my goodness, this is huge. This is a
race.
This is a damn race.
Oh my god, that is insane.
S8 community, is this what you wanted out of your Hero Story tournament?
Oh no,
I know it's what I wanted. Yeah, Zethor having a little bit of unfortunate luck on there, but he is able to get that pause hover, so he's still going to be able to get a 54 check. Let's see if Wagers is able to have a similar thing. He doesn't even get the pulley jump, so he's going to have to make a quick recovery, but he does.
Yeah, it looks like Zethor is having a bit of a better hidden base here. Oh, as I say it, unfortunate.
He is able to break that wall, though, and that is a frame-perfect pause hover in order to get back up there. But unfortunately, Zethor doesn't seem to know the urn backup strategy, where you jump on the urns and then jump onto the wall, opting to break both. Wagers, though, does have to break the cube as he falls down, so it's not going to be too much time loss. Let's see if Zethor can avoid the pit that he's died twice. Looks good so far. And he's over it. All right.
All right, very, very nice execution from Zethor, and pretty nice execution from Wagers as well. Looks like they're both gonna finishing at around the same time, which is actually very impressive considering the time difference of their PBs.
Yeah, Wagers was able to get the 3 lock-ons on the way, where Zethor was only able to get 2, and that is the 3 seconds of difference between them, because those end-of-stage lock-ons are very significant. 4 seconds now separate these two racers going into Pyramid Cave.
Yes, I know Zethor did have some struggles with Pyramid Cave on his first race. I unfortunately did not get to see how he performed on the last race, because I did I did start watching near the end of Death Chamber, but I do know he is pretty good at story style. He has a 134 as his PB, I believe.
Certainly.
Wagers is definitely not to be slept on here in Pyramid Cave. I would say Sonic is his best character. It's definitely the one that he's put the most time in. Then Zethor with
Very
really
unfortunate
death.
Oh, he goes for a full restart. Zethor. Oh. There is a reason for this. There is a reason he went for the full stage restart, and that reason is free cam. Zethor did not want to have to deal with free cam for first door skip, for the rail section. Maybe it messes up your second door skip.
That is true. You often forget about this, but I believe, isn't every death in Pyramid Cave just gives you free cam? Oh no, Zethor!
And he has to take another 25-second restart. The lead is growing for Wagers as he has taken it back and is having quite a clean Pyramid Cave in his own right, getting a 103 check if he would have grabbed it. Does decide to go back and grab it, but he's having some difficulty getting a 107.
So he is going to be going for Snakes, unless he... Oh, no. Yeah, I was going to say unless he decides to be funny and pull out a hex skip, which isn't really common. You're probably not going to be seeing that, but... Hey, it could be cool.
Yeah, the only runners that have been known to go for hex skip really are Hex, and Hex, who has gone for it in all of his races. I think there have been some other instances of it this tournament, but
I believe
the person behind the skip, not very many.
I believe Trader and Cryptic have gone for it.
Oh,
no problem.
That's spicy.
It is spicy.
Wagers getting a 139 Pyramid Cave, which is what you want to see from a run setting. Wagers going into Death Chamber now. We're going to see if he's able to extend this lead. Green ping off the start for someone familiar with
Two mouths.
Two mouths is the kind of piece that you want to see. Even if you are used to death strats, two mouths is the kind of piece that you can take without too much issue.
It's always a pop-up when you get a green ping at the first part. There he is getting Fire Dance. Hopefully he does not confuse this with, I believe, the On the Red Ball or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's quite a few pieces where regarding the red guys.
Wait, apparently Wagers doesn't fully know where Fire Dance is. Double checking just to make sure. Apparently this has the potential to be a really good set, according to some of the hunters in chat. This could lead to an interesting third piece. Oh my goodness, almost gets killed by the Mystic Melody dialogue.
That would have been really unfortunate from Wagers as...
And he gets killed by Red Body! Where does he respawn? Merry-go-round for third piece. This is
a pretty solid third piece, especially from Red Room. They're taking Golden Goddess piece 1, I believe.
Fingers crossed it ends up in the blue path. It looks like he didn't take a second hint. Maybe he doesn't know it's a 50-50. I don't know if he checks for Angel's Ring either, but he didn't get it. Oh, the lack of ping. It's in green. Oh, no.
Oh, and it took him a while to realize, too. Oh.
Yeah, I think he's going to be going all the way back into core. I don't know if he knows that it's in green or if he's just trying to find another hint.
I'm fairly certain he got green Golden Goddess in the last race he did.
Well, looks like he's gotten green Golden Goddess right now. Takes a hit to Death Strat quicker. He might think that it's over by Beauty and the Beast in Red Room, but no, it's just chilling right on the left side of him. He does finally see it and grab the piece. I don't know if he's going to go for a Death Strat or if he's going to keep going.
Looks like he's going for the hint. Triangle Flame, deciding not to take it.
Blue main piece 2s, I've heard nothing but bad things about them.
Hitting a nice Death Strat.
Wow, off of a green piece? That's quite rare.
That is very nice. And then Eggman, oh, that is so good!
This set turned into a very good set for Zethor, but he's got a mountain to climb, especially considering Wagers just beat King Boom Boo without much difficulty at all.
Did get a 45 though, so it definitely wasn't perfect. So that is a small opportunity to get some of that small time save in, because even if you aren't going to be able to save like 30 seconds in one split, those like 5 to 10 second time saves, as I think Gerp was saying in a few matches ago, it really adds up after a while.
Absolutely they do. Wagers getting 3 of the super bounces already, but falls all the way down twice. Isn't able to get the head smash hit going around to jump up the back. I'm not sure what his familiarity is with jumping up the back, but it looks like he is able to get that.
Looks like he is going to be fairly comfortably defeating Egg Golem. Not too bad of a fight. Definitely had some shaky spots, but I would say a sub 50 second is still pretty reasonable to take.
Especially because I'm mostly sure Zethor doesn't even go for profit bounces. He goes for the jumping up the back every hit strategy. So, you know, a time lower than 50 is going to save him some of that time over Zethor. Yeah, Wagers now distinctly in the lead going into Eternal Engine.
Oh no, Zethor! Zethor punching too close to his mouth, I believe, and that's why King Boombo turns around. So he's now going to have to either restart for another chance at 1 cycle, or he's just going to take the 2 cycle, which it seems like he is doing the latter.
It is worth noting that taking a second cycle in King Boombo loses more and more time based on how many hits you got during the first cycle. So ideally, if you are taking a 2 cycle, you only got 1 hit on him. But despite this, it is going to be quite an amount of time lost there, as honestly, as I've found out recently, even if you cat boost on the fire of another cycle, it is still faster to restart and get a 40-second boom boo than it would be to continue. Zethor has a 130 before he's even able to dig him out of the ground a second time.
Yeah, and this is already like about a minute slower in the on what you can get. So yeah, he can't be happy about that.
Wagers is able to get a very clean turnaround after his, I believe, second try bofa.
Yeah, very respectable. You'll see most runners get second try bofa because first try is very hard.
Although worth noting that Zethor did get first try bofa last race, so maybe he'll be able to get some of this time saved back, but I don't think he fully knows how this boss works. I don't think it's something that he's really had to have experience with in his individual leveling. So, you know, he might lose just all of the potential time he could save on this boss. I think this race might be over.
Oh yeah.
Wagers is able to get to the goal ring, getting a 138. A little bit of difficulty, maybe a little bit of safety, but the most important thing about Bofa is actually hitting the goal ring, which he was able to do without taking death at the end.
Yeah, it's big skips are not going to be saving you any time if you don't actually beat the stage. So it is definitely good that he hit the goal ring there.
Wagers loading into Meteor Herd as Zethor finally gets his first hit on Egg Golem. A container within a container. This is in the middle. Middle pieces are known to give pretty good sets. Let's see if Wagers knows where this piece is. His radar is going, and he is course correcting for the correct spot. He almost goes over to Steel Guardian.
Alright, let's see what his second piece is. Oh, looks like he's pretty low. Oh, jeez.
That was a close call. Dangerous Water Drops piece 2 is all the way up, not checking for 3 tanks or any of the other mid pieces, but this might not be the worst idea.
Going to the wrong enemy, unfortunately. Definitely, ooh, center of a square shadow. That's takeable.
Yeah, absolutely. And it goes to show that you can check for those middle pieces, but if you get a bottom piece, then 3 tanks isn't there.
It's true. Let it be known, if the free piece is not there, you did not get a free piece.
It's true. Yeah. Zethor finally finishing Egg Golem. 2 stages and a minute behind AF Wagers at this point. This is a really tough mountain to climb, but you know, some props to Zethor as the, I believe, lowest seed in his pool, going toe-to-toe with the very vastly preferred top seed in his pool for most of the run.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the closer races between bottom seed versus top seed. and it's very honestly, I have a lot of respect for Zethor for being able to keep up for this long.
Yeah, absolutely, and that was something that Liam and I had noted during the previous race, is that when you are doing 4 races in a row, maintaining your composure is very important. And as you can very plainly see, Zethor is keeping his composure, and he can try Bofa.
Yeah, it definitely looks like Zethor is staying in a good mindset, knowing that he has a long road ahead of him, so he definitely has to keep that good mentality on him, and it looks like he is succeeding for the most part. Even despite those death chambers and those egg golems, he's staying strong.
And speaking of trying to stay strong, Wagers, no slouch on the emotional strength sphere himself, after having a 2-minute death at the very beginning of the run and clawing it back, despite, people love to cheer for the underdog. So with all of the cheering against him and with the time deficit, he was still able to, keep his composure, keep it under control, and, he got first try CGSS, or at least first try out of bounds.
Yeah, definitely big props to Wagers for not letting that city escape death get to his head. He didn't stop and take a moment to breathe. He just went right into it, and he got CE skip, and he is now big chilling in first.
Absolutely.
No problem.
He even landed on the roof, but I think he's pretty comfortable with that roof strategy as well. And speaking of comfort, Zethor clips in at the end of Bofa to get the goal ring from the front. I believe he actually lost the previous race. He forfeited immediately after dying on the Bofa goal ring, so I don't fault him for that at all.
And he has actually made it farther than the last race into the run before his opponent finished, which is actually very respectable, because that means he is improving at the game.
And despite the deficit, this could be PB pace for Zethor. We'll have to see how Crazy Gadget and Final Rush go, but I also don't know what skips he does in those stages, but
I believe he has a 32. I know he knows CGSS, and I know he knows FR skip. He was complaining to me about them in a race a week ago, so definitely know that he knows how to do them.
Fair enough, yeah. That's his first piece on Meteor Herd. His second piece is on top of the steel drilling tower.
Not even checking for which one it is. Just kind of guessing.
It's just gray ground. It's not gray ground. If Wagers jumps off of the final rush skip rail, has the skewed gravity, looks like he is going to go through this skip without too much difficulty. Turns regular turn, doesn't go for fast fall. That's completely fine. Looks like he should have plenty of height, I believe, with a 37 turn, unless his beginning was just that fast.
Yeah, definitely going to be. We're not going to be able to know what kind of final rush this is until we see the thing, and it looks like he has enough height. Looks like he's going to be really fine here.
He does avoid the kill plane, going over to the right just to make sure that he avoids it. We could be seeing a no out of bounds. Oh no, he's going through the building. Yeah, Wagers makes it with quite a bit of height to spare. 123, you can squeeze some more time out of final rush, but you just want to finish if you're Wagers at this point. You just want to get this done with and move on to bigger and better things.
Yeah, definitely. If you're really anyone at this point, if you're an FR, you don't really care about what time you got in final rush. You're just thinking about, oh, I'm at the end of the run. I can't wait. Never play Hero Story again. Smile.
Yeah, there is those 3 stages of final rush skip where you jump off the rail and you're tense, and you do the turn and you let out your breath, but you're still really tense, and then you see the buildings come in and then you just loosen because you know that you've made it.
It is the best feeling. if you're a lower runner in FR skip, it's especially nice because you don't really have that much stress on you, so you kind of just go on your phone or something. Oh,
Oh
Wade
no!
is dying in Shadow too.
Yeah, he gets 4 out of 5 hits, and the platform just absolutely disappears underneath him. I have seen Shadow 2 decide some tournament races in the past, but I mean, Zethor going for skipless crazy gadget. I'm not exactly optimistic that Shadow 2 can decide this, but oh, okay, Wagers does make it back up. That looked scary.
Yeah, looks like Wagers is really struggling with Shadow 2, but I don't think it's going to be enough. And yeah, there it goes, 28-48 from AF Wagers. Big congrats to you for your 4th tournament victory. So you're going to be, I think that, yeah, that guarantees higher pools, right? Or higher bracket, right?
Surely, yeah, because the only what's it called? The only other way that that could happen would be if everybody else also got you know, if everybody else also got 4 wins, which doesn't seem quite likely, as there is a set number of matches you have to play.
That is true. I mean, everyone has to do 5 matches, so it's very hard to get. I mean, actually, I think Group H has 3 people with 4 wins, right? It does.
Yeah, it is true. It does have 3 people with 4 wins, but Group E is a little bit more distributed in the wins. The only other person that looks like they can get up to 4 is you. So I guess you're going to be facing off with Wagers for the top seed later on. And you will be facing Zethor actually immediately after this match finishes. What are your thoughts on how that's going to potentially go?
Personally, I would like to win this match because that would be really cool. Not only for the 4 wins to guarantee upper bracket, but also for my dignity. I definitely think that I am capable of beating Zethor, as rude as it sounds. You know, just with like the times he gets in Hero Story, I'm confident.
Yeah, fair enough. Which, speaking of confidence, Zethor just holds up right and just mashes the B button and gets 2 hits on Eggman without any issues at all. I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that. Zethor is able to finish Eggman 2 with a mid-19. And it looks like he's going to be finishing this run on pretty damn good pace. I don't know what his personal best is, but I mean, if he's able to get a time below 34, that's probably, you know, something that's worth celebrating for someone at his skill level. And he, despite his mistakes, you know, he was able to keep everything going.
Yeah, and I once again want to say this. Congrats to not only Zethor, but also Wagers for keeping their composure throughout all the mistakes. Wagers with that cityscape really early on, that could have really... okay, AF Wagers with the Stolen 10 British Tier 1 sub emote to Stolen Cryptic. Thank you, AF Wagers.
Zethor going for fast FR. Oh,
hello.
Oh, homing attacks barely late. I'm not sure if that would have necessarily gotten it, but you really do have to respect the fast FR attempt.
Yeah, you definitely do have to respect that. Big reminder that he is an ILer, so he does know a bunch of these IL strats. If he does get all of these cool, wacky strats in a run, he could pull out something truly amazing. But the problem is the consistency of these strats is so low that it's very hard to get that type of run.
Zethor has gone on the record in the past stating that fast FR is easy as piss. So, unfortunately, it was not necessarily that easy, but it does kind of bode well for future runs that he will attempt it again. And I don't know if we've even seen anybody else go for it. Last tournament, I think the only people to go for it were Silent Motorboat and Katie, and neither of them are in this tournament. So I guess the fast FR torch will have to be carried by Zethor.
It's true. He does have, I believe, 2 more runs against me and Jazz 2 minutes. So hopefully for his sake, he can get the sick final rush gold here, and
Absolutely.
a really cool clip for that clip comp. Anyways, Zethor looking like he's going into Shadow 2 as Afwagers goes into the Chow world. Let's see what he has here. Who is that?
Savick appears to be crying. As Afwagers brings him into Chow Karate.
Oh no!
Zethor going into the Shadow fight, gets his first hit without too much difficulty, goes for the second, goes for the third, gets the fourth. Is he able to get a 16? Not quite, but he is able to get
There we go.
a 20.02. Zethor finishing with
33.55. Pretty solid time for Zethor. Big congrats to both runners for finishing these runs. Big congrats for Savick to getting destroyed by Magic.
Yeah, evidently Savick cannot feel the magic in this moment, as he gets simultaneously knocked out and wrung out at the same time. But good games to Zethor. Congrats on finishing this race. It was a very good race for most of the performance. And congratulations
it
to
was
Wagers.
very close.
Yeah, absolutely. And congratulations to Wagers, who is now 4-0-0 in his pool. We're gonna see if he's able to get that 5th W, or if his record is going to be tainted during, I believe it's tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow at 12 is this final race against myself. So that's going to be pretty hype. 12 Eastern, I should mention the time zone.
Yeah, that's true. So if you want to see how Afwagers finishes along with, the top of Pool E, you can come back tomorrow at noon. But if you want to see how, the rest of the lower areas of Pool E goes, Zethor versus Blug is coming up right now to see if Blug can challenge FW for that potentially perfect record, followed by Zethor versus Jazz. The Zethor versus the World block is not going anywhere.
Yeah, that is true. And with that, I am going to sign off to go get ready for my match. So thank you all for having me. I am heading out.
Thank you for joining me on commentary, and I will also be signing off as I will be taking over the restreaming shift to finish off this Zethor versus the World block. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you in a little bit for the last Zethor match.